Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with the brilliant John Adams. Welcome, John.
Hey guys, glad we could be together and I am happy to be here, man.
Sweet.
Happy to be here.
So John, uh, cool. So, John, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band Love and War?
Yeah, my name's John Adams. I'm talking to you right now from Houston, Texas, and my band is called Love and War. We are right here from Houston. We've been based out of here since we started our band. It's been 20, 21 years ago, maybe 22 years we've had this band, and our current lineup has been together now for since I guess 2010. So yeah, we've been going strong for a while.
Cool, cool. Yeah,
Hey,
so
happy to
let's
talk
get
to you.
into yeah. So yeah, let's get into some questions. As a kid,
Sure.
what were you listening to?
Well, I'm the youngest of six kids, so there's three. It was three boys, three girls. So always listened to what my two older brothers did, and it was a lot of '70s rock. A lot of Led Zeppelin, the Who, the Beatles, of course. All of that, Elton John. I loved all that old '70s rock growing up and everything, and it inspired me a lot. One of my biggest inspirations as a kid was actually Paul McCartney, and I just thought he was a brilliant songwriter, musician, entertainer, everything. And I used to write his lyrics down as a kid, and Elton John too. Was I used to love to sing. I always sang when I was a little kid, and um, that pretty much was it. I kind of got whatever trickled down from my brothers, but it was mostly '70s rock.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty much the same because I've got two older brothers, and I always like sort of like yeah, let's always like pick on stuff what they used to listen to back in the '70s and '80s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there was a lot of great music. When I was growing up on the East Coast, where there was a lot of great bands on the radio that were starting out back then too. I used to be a really big Leonard Skinner fan, believe it or not. I always somehow got attracted to them, and of course, one of the early bands I got into was UFO, and that was a big inspiration.
Cool, cool. So, who actually got you into music? Was it your brothers, or was it your mother and father, or was it a cousin, or was it your school friend?
Well, it's really weird because you know music always attracted me. Even though I was introduced to music, by my brothers or a sister or whatever, it was always something that took me away. I mean, I've always loved music, and I've always, would be like a hiding place for me, if you will. And I would listen to what my brothers played, and then I would listen to the radio or whatever I could, and um, even though I would say that they got me into it. It was a little bit of me too, just being attracted to it by just listening to it on the radio. Driving around with my parents as a little kid and just listening to the radio and everything. It was always super cool. I was always into music, and was always just a big inspiration or a hiding place. I could put headphones on or whatever, or just listen to music, and it would take me away. It was still does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does, it does. So, who actually inspired you to become a musician?
Well, that's easy. For me, when I was about 12 years old, I had one of my friends, and he was learning how to play guitar, and he had older brothers, and two of them played guitars, and I would go over there, and they'd all playing guitars, and I always thought it was super cool until one day my middle brother Joe played the Force It record by UFO, and I heard Michael Schenker play. So here I am at 12 years old listening to Michael Schenker, and I was just blown away. And I don't know why. It's just listening to Michael Schenker play guitar. I was just like, holy shit, I got to learn how to play guitar. It was just that easy. And after that, I went over to my friend's house and I said, hey, show me how to play guitar. And we picked up one of his brother's chords and guitars, and he started showing me some chords. And right after that, I was living in Richmond, Virginia, and we moved to Texas from there. And when I got to Texas, I bought my first guitar, and even though it was a cheap piece of crap, it was six strings, man. And I just was just enthralled. After that, listening to Michael Schenker, then of course it moved on to bands like Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith, and some later '70s bands that were very inspirational. And when I'd get out of school, man, I was right there in my bedroom with my guitar. I used to have this turntable where it would slow down to 33. So basically, it would take everything you would hear and it would take it down a half step so it would never lose pitch. So you could slow down all the guitar licks, they would be really slow, but it would still be in pitch. And then I could learn all these guitar licks and everything at slow speed, and that helped out a lot. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. So, excuse me. What bands were you in before Love and War, if any?
Yeah, one of my very first bands, I started my well, I we started me and a drummer friend of mine was called Works, WURX, and that was like a senior year high school thing, and we continued on with that band. And our singer Jeff Vandenberg actually moved from El Paso, Texas, to Houston to join Works, and that was in 1982. So when you do the math, me and my singer I'm currently with in Love and War, we've been playing together for 40 years. That's how long. I mean, that is a long time, man. And Works eventually we ended up getting a loan, and we went on the road from like 1986 to 1989. We were on tour continuously for 3 years. We went all over the United States, everywhere. Played in LA on the Sunset Strip, and it was those glory days of hair metal, man. And we ate it up and we lived it, and it was a fantastic time. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And so from there, the band ended up breaking up around 1989, 90, and then I started a band called Lestat after the vampire Lestat. I've always been into the macabre, the scary movies and horror movies, and I've always loved vampires, ever since I was a kid. So uh, that was definitely appealing for me to start a band called Lestat. So we had Lestat together for about 6 years, and then there was a little bit of a lull right there. I didn't really do a whole lot in the late '90s, and then in the year 2000, 2001 is when we did a reunion for Lestat, and everything went great. So we were like, well, we didn't want to, continue with the name Lestat. So I came up with the name Love and War, and so we've been Love and War ever since.
Cool,
Oh,
cool.
and by the way, I'm in a UFO tribute band called Lights Out, and that's been together for 20
Cool.
years. So yeah, so we basically play the whole Strangers in the Night record, and we do some Paul Chapman stuff. And I've met Paul a few times. I love Paul Chapman, and I love his early day stuff, like with Lone Star, and that it's some great music. And so yeah, and we do some Vinnie Moore stuff too, some of the early stuff. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. It sounds it. It sounds it. Yeah. So, what has the band been up to, especially over these last what 2.5 years now?
Yeah, since we released Edge of the World, which was February of 2020. And by the way, right in the thick of COVID, and it was really bad timing for us because it started off with a bang and we were selling some records internationally. And then everything shut down because of COVID, and everything lost interest. And that's pretty much why we're re-releasing the record right now. Hopefully, it'll snowball and gain some more interest. But um, we've been writing new music and just trying to keep things alive. And we're really thankful for Animated Insanity Records that picked us up, and in conjunction with No Dust out of the Netherlands, and we're releasing this record in Europe. It's available right now for sale in the Netherlands at No Dust Records. You can find it, and here in America, it'll be released on September the 6th. So
Cool, cool.
yeah.
Yes. So could you
Did that answer your
tell us
question?
a
I,
bit?
I kind of went off on a tangent there. I don't know if I
Yeah,
actually answered your
it's all
question.
right. Yeah, yeah. So, could you tell us a little bit about the Edge of the World? I know it's a nine track album. Could you tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually recorded 12, but after we were mixing it all down and everything, the other ones didn't make the record, and that was just a compilation of songs that we had written, and we went into the studio with Greg Gill at Endeavor Studios in just south of St. Louis, Missouri, and over the course of 2 years, we recorded that record. Now, it didn't take 2 years to record. It was just we would go up there, and it's 11 and a half hour drive from Houston. It was just whenever we could, Greg was a teacher at the time, and with all of our schedules and everything, there would be times where weeks and weeks would go by before we'd go up there and record. But through the course of 2 years, we recorded that record, and we're very proud of that record. We spent a lot of time, obviously, and on the production and on the engineering side, and we think the album came out really great. We're very proud of it. And
Cool.
Greg was the engineer and the owner of Endeavor. Well, he joined Love and War. He's our second guitar player now, and me and him have been exchanging ideas, and writing new songs for our next record. So, but yeah, Edge of the World was definitely a labor of love. It was a great time, and we're looking forward to doing the next one.
Cool, cool. Now, you said you wrote 12 songs for Edge of the World, and you basically dropped 3 songs to make a nine track album. Are those 3 songs that you've dropped going to be appear on an EP or the next album? Or
It's a good question. Yeah, I think probably one of them probably will for sure on the next record. The other two, we'll probably just revisit them and see, see if we can spice them up a little bit and make them a little bit better. You know, a lot of bands go in the studio with a lot of songs and they pick the best ones, and um, those are definitely the ones that didn't make the record. But I think there's one of them that definitely has a lot of potential for sure.
cool, cool.
But
So
I mean,
yeah,
no, I was just
yeah,
going to say, writing new songs right now is just really been a real priority. So.
yeah. We've got a question, like sort of like a question from one of my brilliant mods, called Sebastian, and he asks, "Is it true everything is bigger in Texas? Is the rock and metal scene also bigger?"
Okay. Well, you'd have to ask my wife on the first part of that question. Yeah, actually, well, I know though that's just kind of Sebastian. That's just kind of one of those things that you always hear, because the state is so freaking huge, man. I mean, it takes 16 hours to drive from one end to the other. So, no, not everything is bigger in Texas, but there are a lot of things that are bigger. And now the rock and metal scene, obviously, there's a lot of ground to cover, man. We got some really big cities. We've got Dallas and Fort Worth. We've got Austin, Texas, which is a huge music mecca, if you will, and a great music scene there. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of music happening in Texas, a lot of great bands, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So you mentioned that you are writing new material. Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about that if you can?
Yeah. Me and Greg Gill, our other guitar player, we've been exchanging ideas. Most of it's online, of course, because of the distance between us. But he'll send me ideas, and I've shared some with him, and we're kind of piecing some stuff together. And then I have some new ideas that I've been working on as well. And typically, the process is I'll just come up with some riffs or something, and then I'll try to organize them into songs, and then I'll get with Jeff, my singer, and if I don't write the lyrics, then he'll write the lyrics and come up with some melodies, and then we kind of form the songs from there. But yeah, I mean, right now I have it's just an 8 track. It's not a very big studio, but it's a home studio, and the 8 track is big enough for what I do. And I'll put all my ideas on it, and and then share them. And we rehearse. We have a rehearsal place here, a studio where we rehearse, and we get together and work on ideas and everything. So it's a process, and if everything goes well, 2023 we should be back in the studio to record another record.
Yeah. Have you got enough material to go into the studio?
Not yet. We have just a handful of ideas. Probably easily 3, 4 songs. Right now, and I'd like to do easily about 10 more, and and they'll be coming. We'll have them by the time we'll be ready to go in the studio, and we'll pick the best of what we have, and record them.
Yeah, cool, cool. So if it went like basically when you've written all the material, recorded the recorded those tracks that you want to record, um, would there be like sort of like a tour or like play some live shows after you get it all sorted out?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for at this point with the release of the 2 CD set that we just put out with Animated Insanity and No Dust. That is one of our goals, is to start getting out playing live more, and promoting the record. It's going to be released here in America in about another week. So yeah, we're trying to get out and play a lot more right now. We have only thing we have set up is October 1st with Accept. Um, but we're going to start booking a lot more and getting ourselves out there, and we're hoping, depending on what happens in Europe, it would be great if our music gets out and gets out enough. Maybe we could get picked up by a promoter or something and come do some festivals there. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I was going to ask about. Are you? Is there any plans coming over to Europe or even down to South Africa or over to Australia or Japan?
Yeah, I mean that's always been on our mindset, and right now we would love to. And I think with the release of the new record, well, the re-release of the record over there, maybe we can get picked up by a promoter or something, and get the opportunity. Right now, we just don't have anybody, an agent or anything, trying to get us over there. That's something we'll have to work on. But yes, absolutely, we do want to come to Europe. We would love to play Europe, and we would love to get new fans, pick up new fans, and see the beautiful countries over there. And it's always on the back of our minds to make that happen. And hopefully, within the next year, something will develop, and we can get over there.
Cool, cool. So, have you? Where put your teeth in? Where can people find you on their social media? Have you got a Facebook page? That type of thing.
Yeah, of course, we have a Facebook page. You'll find Love and War on Facebook, and we also have we're on Instagram. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see a link to our website. There's a website as well. You can, either one of those three. Also, Reverb Nation. If you want to just go hear our music, you can go to Reverb Nation and find Love and War in Houston, and the new record's on there if you want to hear the songs. And we're on all the streaming services, all the major streaming services. You can find our record. You can hear the songs. Um, if you're, of course, in Europe, um, check out No Dust Records in the Netherlands, and you can buy our new 2 CD set. It's our first record, which was released in 2010, called Up the Ante, and then oh, bless you, and then there's the one we just put out a couple years back. That's a 2 CD set. We have a bonus track on there. We do a Judas Priest song, "Delivering the Goods." We did a live recording of that, and we put that on there. So yeah, I mean, you can find us on those sites and everything, and pop in, say hey, and we'd love to hear from you.
Cool. Have you got any like sort of like merch such as like t-shirts, caps, stuff like
Yes.
that on there?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to the website, you'll see some stuff on there. We have T-shirts, and otherwise, if the link isn't on there for any reason, I haven't been on it in a while. We have somebody that does the site. Just reach out to me, John Adams, and let me know what you're looking for, and I'll send you the information.
Cool, cool. So this is probably going to be my sort of like last question, unless somebody else in the chat wants to ask a question. So my question is, any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Yeah, stick to your guns, man. I mean, do what you love to do. Play what comes from the heart. Don't let anybody discourage you. It's tough out there. You get a lot of people are saying, "Oh, why are you doing this? There's no money." And there's never been any money in it. I mean, but you do it because you do it because you love to do it. And you know whatever we all do, you love what you do. It'll be a hell of a lot less stressful, than forcing yourself on it. But stick to your guns, man. Play from your heart, and do what you love to do.
Cool, cool. Sound advice, sound advice. So, John, thank you so much for coming on and doing this interview. It's been an absolute pleasure,
Elliot,
talking to you.
thanks, man. Yeah, Elliot, thanks you for having me. And, I'd love to hear from you again as things progress, and anything else comes up or whatever. Let's keep in touch.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, when you get in the studio and record
Yes.
the new album, let us know and we'll get you back on and talk about it.
Sounds good, man. Done deal. Yep. You'll hear from Ben. Ben, will probably be the one that'll set up the interview.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you'll definitely be hearing from us, man. And thank you for the opportunity. And it's glad to talk to everybody.
Yes, yeah. No, my pleasure, John, my pleasure. So yeah,
All right,
yeah.
man.
Go check out Love and War on their social medias, and yeah, I've heard the Edge of the World album, and it is absolutely brilliant. Go check them out.
Cool. Thanks, guys.